general comment about the game today and anything like that, if you would, please?
Obviously, it was a tale of two halves for us. First half was it was a combination of two things. We couldn't figure out how to score, and when we were getting good looks, they weren't going in. And usually the looks that we get were high percentage shots, they just weren't going in. So we had to kind of go to the drawing table a bit in the second half and adjust some things, mainly to open these two up a bit, to take advantage of some holes in their defense. If they weren't going to adjust their defense, we were going to adjust our offense. So, and I think you look at our offensive rebounds, that was a big part of some of the points that we got and some of the opportunities that we got to go to the foul line. And Lauren was a big catalyst for that. You know, at 5, did you say you're 5'8"? Is that what we tell people? Okay. At 5'8", she doesn't necessarily have the body structure to get a ton of offensive boards, but she has the mindset. And that was a big reason for our turnaround.
Also put Martha at the foul line, which kind of
Yes.
forced one of their bigs to come out and guard her.
Right. Well, yeah.
That was pretty tactical, really smart move for you.
Well, if they were going to stay in that 1-3-1, we were going to put Martha in the middle of the floor and make them decide how they're going to guard us. And we always had one post out there that could shoot threes. So on the defensive end, if they had 2 posts in, we were okay with matchups. And offensively, if they doubled down on her, we could kick out for our post that could shoot.
Coach Charleston obviously coming into the game with the #1 scoring defense, so a very stingy defensive opponent. What was the main focal point in your execution into breaking defense?
Well, you know, the first 2 times we played them, the only zone they threw at us was a 2-3. So we hadn't seen a 1-guard front before, so we didn't even prepare for that. I think you could see that in the first half. We looked out of it, we weren't focused, we were out of rhythm. Going into the game, our objective is always to push the ball in transition. If we can get easy buckets that are uncontested, we'll take them whenever we can. And that was a big way we created a gap when we played them the first 2 times offensively. So, you know, what we prepared for in the beginning of the game is really, it had nothing to do with why we won the game. We had to make adjustments.
Martha, you didn't score in the first half. You didn't score until it was like 16-49, right? Did you feel like you and your team, generally speaking, was a little out of rhythm?
Yes. Usually against zone, I'm used to working on the outside, and they weren't giving us anything. And like Coach Hines said, we haven't worked against the 1-3-1 before, so that was kind of frustrating and it took us out of our rhythm. But like she said, made good game time decisions in the second half. We switched things up. That worked for us.
Did you have trouble finding lanes?
Yes, definitely. That was frustrating, but I just kept playing defense. Joe tells me if my offense isn't coming, just play defense. But yeah, it was frustrating.
Lauren, when they were playing, they made a couple, I don't know, I like to consider them unforced or forced errors. I mean, you guys pressed them, which you sped up their decision making. Do you think that was the result of your press?
Yeah, I do. I think that was one of our biggest momentum changers because they were trying to slow the game down, and we like to play up speed, up tempo. And when we got a chance to get to the foul line in the second half and make some free throws, we could get into our press. And then we have like Marth's great steals, and we really turned up our defense, and that kind of turned over and helped us get like rhythm on our offense, so we could get into our rhythm and start making shots and get to the foul line. So,
yeah, because you can't press unless you score.
Right. Unless we're turning the ball over.
Right.
We'll press that too.
That's all good.
Yeah.
There was a 25-4 run. You guys just turned the whole tide over about a 9-minute span. And I think they had something like 9 or 10 turnovers, constantly getting the ball across half court. Tell me about that span. You could see your guys' energy just went way up and they kind of off the edge a little bit.
Well, I think it sparked from our first great defensive play. Like, one play gets us going. We focus on not letting one thing get to us. We focus on the next play, so I think we just played through that. Like, we knew we weren't going to give up, and just never gave up. We played good D.
And I want to give credit to our bench too, because we knew we were struggling to get to the lines and make some baskets, but once we got that momentum going, our bench kept us up and kept us going, and once we got that momentum, we just ran with it. I think that's really what turned it around.
You said your bench kept you up and
Yeah,
just
cheering vocally and supportive.
They would tell you what to do sometimes, wide open, and they're like, shoot. Shut
And you're
up.
like, shut up.
I'll have some thoughts. You're going to the semis now. You get a day off, you get Shepherd
Right.
Saturday. Just some
Yeah.
thoughts on, I mean, everything's going to be tough from here on out.
Yeah,
They're playing very well, you guys.
they are.
Obviously playing well.
Shepherd's a team that, you look at our team and obviously you can focus in on Martha and you can focus in on Lauren, you can focus in on impact players. If you had to put a number on our team, I think on great nights we might have 3 impact players, okay? Shepherd doesn't necessarily have an impact player. They have complete role players that are all very effective. And it's easy to shut down 2 or 3 impact players. It's really tough to shut down 5 role players that understand their role and carry their coach's focus out. And there's so much parity in this league between teams. You look at pretty much 1 through 7 and really 1 through 8. Anyone can beat anyone. It's all about the matchups. So we're really going to have to focus in on our matchups against Shepherd and just play with some tenacity and understand that they're going to go on runs and really reflect on this game to get us through that. But in the end, it's all about matchups, like I said.
Martha, how proud of talking to your name, the conference player of the year tonight, or you're sitting here in the semifinals?
It's the greatest feeling. I've never received like a big award for basketball or anything. And I just want to thank the coaches for honoring me with the award. I felt it was a lot of pressure on myself coming into this game because I was just named the player of the year. So I felt that I had to play well. So, but I have my teammates here with me to back me up, and that's great.
well done, Lauren. You guys seem to have more energy in the second half. You agree?
Yeah.
Is that kind of a back to the wall mentality, do or die mentality?
I think, we knew it's an honor for us to even get this far, come from a lower seed, and I think that's our biggest attribute that we bring to the table. Like, we may not have the best matchups, but I think we worked really hard and we dig and we have a lot of heart, and I think that's how we pull away in games.
Coach, you guys beat about double digits in your first meeting.
No.
I'm sorry, Mike. Okay, just go.
What is the question?
About the second half energy, where did that come from?
I don't know. We just looked at each other. We don't want to go home. We don't want to lose. We're here this far. We want to make it all the way. So we all fought, all of us, all 16 of us, and the coaches.
Did you make the quarterfinals here last year?
We didn't make it past the first round last year.
You beat Wild.
Yeah, they seem to be a dagger for us. Yeah.
Sorry about that, Mike. You guys beat them by double digits the first time you met them.
First time we played them, we beat them by 1.
Oh, that's right. The second time you beat them by double digits, so I guess that probably explains them going to the 1-3-1 and trying to.
Yeah. And that second time we played them, it was a week ago.
That's right.
That second time we played them, it was the best shooting night we've had. And, everyone congratulated us after the game, and, said if you face them in the tournament, you'll have no issue. That wasn't our mindset. We knew that it was probably rare to shoot that well on any given night. We couldn't just bank on that high percentage. We had to find a way to continuously grind, even if we weren't shooting well. And this game was the complete opposite, especially in the first half. The things that we banked on in that second game that we played them, we weren't getting. So we had to find a different route.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Saturday.